All right, everyone, expect one of the most surreal clips that you're going to see within modern political history. And we've seen, in just this election cycle, and certainly the last couple, we've seen some weird shit. I've never seen a person be more non-personable, more awkward than Kamala Harris. And we've lived through Elizabeth Warren's meme team and the Biden wins page and all sorts of things. She attempted to buy Doritos. So, they showed up at a store with a phalanx of vans. They cleared out the store. Now, this is ostensibly for security purposes. That part is actually, while an inconvenience to the customers of the store, it's actually not abnormal. And I note that Trump never does this, though. He waltzes into McDonald's and just randomly orders a Big Mac. He's less concerned. Kamala was staging a photo op. So they brought in a bunch of literal paid actors to stand around, fawning over Kamala, as she attempts to buy a bag of Doritos. She failed at this endeavor. Watch the fucking clip. It's friggin' great. She can't even buy a bag of Doritos. This is next president of the United States, Madam President. How strong and personable you are. They had to try to record it multiple times. Her grinning ear to ear like a fucking hyena to buy a bag of chips. I'm not shitting you. It's trending for a reason. Watch it. Please watch it. It's one of the most hilarious and cringy things. I mean, it's almost like it's too funny. It gets to the point where it's so absurd that it's like it hurts inside of your bones, so to speak, watching Kamala Harris attempt to act like a human being. She failed. She can't buy Doritos. And you know why that is. Everything is staged right now. Every time that she's out in public, everything is super scripted. This is why when she talks, it comes off as mechanical generally. When she does go off script, she says things that don't entirely make sense. Again, like the other day with her democracy spiel. So the people around her realize that nobody's really going to identify with her. So they surround her with literal paid actors to make it look like I wouldn't be surprised if half the people at her rallies have been paid to show up there. There's no real enthusiasm. It's a giant AstroTurf. This proves it. I mean, show this to your normie friend who's like, I'm not sure exactly who I'm going to vote for, and say, do you really want this to be your next president of the United States? Hey, you're id poll, so you're like, big on women's rights. Do you want the first female president to be so derpy and awkward there's no possibility that after 4 years in office she's possibly getting reelected, leaving you with old white Tim Walz? Is that really what you want? No, probably not. I would like a first female president. I would prefer them to be qualified. Same as with any other president. That's really the only thing that I care about. Can you balance a budget? Can you conduct diplomacy? Can you buy a bag of Doritos without hiring a crowd of people and having to redo it several times because you're so awkward that you can't even buy a bag of Doritos? I mean, imagine that you had a clip like this. And it was, well, pretty much anyone other than Kamala. They'd circle wagons for Biden. With him, it would be like, okay, he's senile. He dropped the bag and stuff. So we did a redos for the photo shoot, make him look more personable. But you can always blame that on dementia, right? When a person who is not of advanced age can't claim cognitive decline, is incapable of looking normal, doing something as elementary as going into a fucking store and buying an item of food. I mean, I want to hate watch this several more times. It's surreal. It's also, the problem is the echo chamber of liberals, they're never going to be exposed to this particular clip, and so they're not going to realize your candidate is retarded. And a psychopath. There's no other way to put it. Biden never raised alarm bells other than, well, maybe like they worried about Reagan in his second term. Maybe he has a senior moment and accidentally starts fiddling with the nuclear football the wrong way. That might be worrisome. But he never gave me the vibe that he's like, psychopathic or something like that. Malevolent in the egotistical sense, in the corporate cutthroat sense, of course, he was a cutthroat senator. He would grill people, by the way. He was actually a really great orator back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But he never gave me the vibe that this person is legit evil. Kamala Harris gives me that vibe. I think she's legitimately an evil individual. I mean, you have to be insane at this point if you're considering voting for her. Between the economic policy and the inability to buy something at the store without completely derping out. I mean, it's sort of like when she gets uncomfortable or finds something funny, and those two things she reacts interchangeably to. That's a little bit of a psychological tell, by the way. She just starts, cackling and throwing her head around, and looks like Beto O'Rourke when he was gyrating around on stage. Yeah, we're gonna take the guns. Yeah, we're gonna open the border. I think we should get rid of the border wall. And he was he was almost like speaking in tongues mode. He looked like he was at a Pentecostal convention. Kamala Harris does that a little bit more low-key usually. She doesn't dance around on stage. Tim Walz is more of the coke-snorting, high-energy dude. God, you should see him in a rally the other day. He's like, it's inexplicable. It's almost like he's trying to carry the campaign's energy. Maybe he really feels it. He's in it for the show and he's having a good time. I don't know. He's one strange dude. Kamala Harris, though, gives me malevolent vibes. Like, there's some underlying problem there. Like, I don't know exactly what it is. I can't even quite quantify it. But, it's sort of like, you know how sometimes there will be a person and, like, animals always run away from them and babies cry when they get close and little kids, like, hide behind their moms and stuff like that? Like, somebody like that. That's sort of how I see Kamala Harris. She gives me the fucking creeps. On the other hand, animals come over to me unwanted and expect attention and shit like that. And I'm like, hi. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. No, you can't have my peanuts. No, these M&Ms are not for you. They might kill you. I don't think you can process bromide. Kamala Harris can't even buy a bag of chips. This is Trump. He goes into the store and he's shaking everyone's hands, buying people burgers and shit like that and hamming it up. And, yeah, while it's still, politician stuff, it's sort of like, you can go around kissing babies or something. Biden does that. He doesn't even need to be running for office to do that. But he looks normal doing it. He loves the attention. He soaks in it. He basks in it. And he has a great time. Kamala, meanwhile, when she's out in public, she looks like she's having the worst time of her life. She doesn't want to talk to anyone. She doesn't want to answer any questions. She doesn't want to put herself out there. And she has to stage a photo op to buy a bag of chips. This is not normal human behavior. People need to understand, while it's funny and the cringe is really maximum level on this, it's indicative of a larger problem. A real, authentic psychological condition. She's not even capable of shopping at the store without looking fucking crazy. That's about all. Peace out.